And welcome back to the DOGFATHER'S Toys. Today, let's look at the Constitution class USS Enterprise. As you can see by this die-cast model, that it is the NCC 1701A Enterprise, or as they put it, the Constitution class refit. This came with the book that it's sitting on, all about the Constitution class Enterprise, from Pike to Kirk, and all variations in between. And let's look at the model first. Here you see the bridge dome, the impulse crystal, the deflector dish, sensor arrays, warp cells, and even got little spots for these holes are on the side, large holes like that one. Let's see, there, right there, you see it. That's a shuttle pod hangar, and that's the shuttle deck. Same with the other side. You see there's that the shuttle pod, the impulse engines, the warp engines. Alrighty, now that we looked at that, let's look at the book. I'm not going through every page of it, so. Okay, I picked up the book. It came with the little Enterprise there. It's basically a detail of the Enterprise from all eras. Like chapter 1 or 2. Chapter 1 is like a brief history of the Enterprise. Now, there's two different versions of the Constitution class Enterprise during the Pike era. This one that's later became Captain Kirk's Enterprise in the original series. As you can see, the bridge looks the same as Kirk's. And there's briefing rooms, transporter rooms. They even go into phasers and let's see, I think they'll go into uniforms too. Yep, uniforms. The laser cannon. Now this is the Enterprise from the show on Paramount Plus, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which is the telling of the Enterprise with Captain Christopher Pike. But this Enterprise is more updated than the original Enterprise. If that makes sense. You see by the pictures, they look the same except for they're a little bit different. There's the, I thought I had a, oh, maybe I was wrong. Let's see. Okay. Oh, that's what I'm looking. Yeah, this Enterprise is still helmed under Captain Christopher Pike, but Anson Mount is the actor portraying Captain Pike, not Jeffrey Hunter, because Jeffrey Hunter passed away years ago, and he would have been too old to do it now. And there's the uniforms for the Strange New Worlds. Basically, like the original series. There's the phase pistols. Yeah, there we go. Communicators, tricorders. And now we got Captain Kirk's Enterprise. Which is basically the same ship as the original Captain Pike, with little changes in the warp nacelles. Bridge layout is the same. There's the captain's chair. The buttons on the captain's chair. And I'm not saying that between the two Enterprises under Captain Pike are bad. I really do like Strange New Worlds, and I'm hoping this actors strike and writer strike ends so we can get back to watching Star Trek again, because season 2 ended on a cliffhanger. And there's all the details about engines and communications. There's the engine room, main engineering. Transporters. Jeffrey tubes. Which is Jeffrey tubes are like little pathways in the engine room, and they were named after the how you put it, I don't know. A man who designed the original Enterprise, I can't remember if his first name or last name, but it was Jeffries. And to honor him, they named something on the Enterprise, the Jeffrey tube out of him. There's the shuttle bay, the shuttlecraft, weapons, shields. This is, if you're a Star Trek fan of the original era or the Constitution class Enterprise, you can look at the 3D chessboard, equipment, phasers, tricorders, medical instruments, environmental suits, insignias, ranks, uniforms, which look a lot like the uniforms on Strange New Worlds, except for the Strange New World ones have zippers down the middle. These don't. Except for these are dress uniforms, so they don't count as work uniforms. Okay. And here's where things get better. This is what I like to say, my Enterprise. This ship is more sleek and updated than the original show version. There's a lot of differences. In Star Trek story, after Captain Kirk's 5-year mission, she was docked in a refit dry dock and things, and she went almost a completely new rebuilt. Like, there's the engine room from the series. That's the engine room from for the movies. Okay, the comparisons. The original series had round warp nacelles, and the movie version, the warp nacelles are more sleeker. Also, the main deflector dish in the original show had a dish outside here, and they did away with that. The bridge basically has got the same layout: captain, helms, navigation, science, communications, etc., etc. As you can see, here's a brief overview of the engine room, which now goes up a few decks and throughout the whole bottom half of the lower section of the Enterprise. There's engineering suits. And there's the Enterprise going into dry dock. Work bees, which have been the new updated phasers. Of course, they seem like they changed in every movie, but like communications. In the first Star Trek movie, the communicators were like a watch. You wore it on your wrist. Then they went back to the old style, like a flip phone. And they've stayed like that. Space suits, bio beds. The greatest trio ever in Starfleet. Now, a little different with the insignia badge. They all have the star in the middle of it. It's just separated by color. Unless you're a medical or and there's the different uniforms. That is the Admiral suit that Captain Kirk had at the beginning of the Star Trek, the motion picture, and then it went on. Short sleeve versions. Chewie, get off my back. Oh, you want to look at the pictures? Okay, look there. That's Chewie. Say something, Chewie. Get that camera out of my face. Okay. And of course, that's it as far as that goes. Then you had the NCC 1701A Enterprise. Those who know the story that Admiral James T. Kirk sacrificed the Enterprise to save his crew and Captain Spock on the Genesis planet. When the Klingons invaded, he activated a self-destruct and destroyed the Enterprise. Sad moment. And Just like with the others, it's basically the same layout, a little bit more fancier. There's the forward observation room, and that's the logo for basically the Enterprise, which is mounted on a steering wheel. And there's an up-close picture of the warp nacelle. Deflector shields. Now, the difference between deflector shields and other shields, deflector shields are supposed to block, which is that thing on the bottom that glows blue. It's like a minor, like a force field just to protect the Enterprise when she's in warp speed from space particles, so it don't damage the ship. Then they can turn on the force field, or they call it shields, in battle to protect it. There's Captain Kirk's quarters. More Jeffrey 2s. As you can see, these are more like you ain't got to climb through them. They're like behind walls. And there's the shuttle bay, the updated shuttlecrafts. Like I said, they change phasers like every other movie. Environmental suits. And their uniforms, which to me, I'm a fan of these uniforms. Especially this type, and not only because it's the captain's uniform, it just looks more what do you call it, military, or not but they all look the same except for the coloring on around the turtlenecks. Oh, sorry. The turtlenecks indicate what division you're in. White is for, let's see, white is for command. And which was basically Kirk and Spock, because during after Star Trek 1, Spock was Captain Spock, and he was in charge of the Enterprise until his death, and then he was still captain when he came back to life, but he was basically Kirk's first officer. And that's it. You got a little index, so if you want to, gee, where's warp drive at? And you can find it. But like I said, it just covers the the William Shatner Enterprise, the Christopher Pike, the Captain Kirk, up to from the Pike to the end of the NCC 1701A Enterprise, because at the end of the last movie with the original crew, the Enterprise was going it back to space dock to be decommissioned. And in Star Trek Season 3, at the Fleet Museum, you see what the Enterprise and the museum. Along with other ships. So it's going to be quite a long one. I try not to ramble on too much. I hope you enjoy this. If you want it, you can order it. Here, I'll give you a nice picture. It's an interesting read. It's fully illustrated. It's from Eagle Moss Hero Collectors. So that's it for this one. I appreciate you hearing me ramble. And I got a new camcorder. I'm using my cell phone right now. I'm gonna have to go to Best Buy and look at another camcorder, because I like the camcorder. It's got a great picture, but it just don't do like something sitting on my lap without being blurry. It don't have an autofocus. So with that said, subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a comment if you like it or don't like it. Hit the notification bell, and until the next time I do a video, I'll see you out there. Bye-bye.